Hand clap to the massive brothers and sisters. We are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction on the one and Mystelics reaction, guys. Big up on yourself for being a part of these vibrations. I appreciate every single one of you guys for definitely being a part of these vibrations, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to do what? Click the like button. I would appreciate that right there. Click the thumbs up button, of course, brothers and sisters. Of course, helping the algorithms to push these videos further and further out there by just clicking the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that right there, guys. And of course, if you've not done so, subscribe, brothers and sisters. Subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations. And of course, help this channel to grow further and further in that regard. Of course, I really want you guys to subscribe and then click the bell and then click also to be notified when I drop all my videos right there. You will be notified when I drop. You will get a message or something of that sort, either in your email or if you're on YouTube and I pop a bow. Look me there, brothers and sisters. Click the subscribe button so you can definitely be notified in that regard right there, brothers and sisters. I also have to point out something very interesting, brothers and sisters. There was another birthday that actually missed one of the Mystelics family, one of the biggest supporters out there, brothers and sisters. Clem, big up yourself one time. I do appreciate you for definitely being celebrating your 71st birthday. Of course, big up yourself one time right there, man. Guys, I tell you, man, November 23rd was her birthday. That was about 4 days ago, actually. Her birthday was 4 days ago, guys. So I would like you guys to also give her some love right there. Of course, the person I mentioned yesterday, Vicky and Clem, are some of the biggest supporters. Not just saying, oh, guys, we like your video, watch your video, brothers and sisters. But they actually really support the vibrations right there, and I do appreciate them for definitely being a part of this vibration. So I have to give you guys a mention, no doubt about it. I'm not good with birthdays, so I kind of missed the one right there. But big up yourself, Clem. I do appreciate you 150%. May God continue to bless you and Vicky and all the others right there. Big up on yourself for definitely being a part of this year vibes and of course the celebration of your birthday. Free score and 10 plus 1. Hopefully you get to see free score 10 plus 1 again. I would appreciate that. Of course, may the Lord continue to bless you guys right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, without further ado, let us get into the vibrations for the day. Of course, we have this sentiment that we were discussing yesterday, brothers and sisters. Of course, Robert Snyder is this individual, and of course, Jonathan Leer, the one who was released, so to speak, quote unquote, released yesterday, brothers and sisters, on bail, given or granted, I should say, granted bail. Of course, you have to meet a number of stipulations right there. However, somebody pointed out something rather interesting to me, and they said this: you know that Jonathan guys SKERRIT make them give bail? That's the Dominica lingo right there. I have a twist on that. This individual is saying, I have a twist of sorts on this right there. One, he's a passport seller. Yes, brothers and sisters. He's a passport seller. Maybe they're not selling as much passports as this individual could. So they decide, hey, let us see if we can make something up to get this guy out. And it's very interesting when you look at the dynamic of that situation right there, how he's given bail. Anyways, this individual is saying he's a passport seller. So he knows a lot of dirt on the government individuals, including that of SKERRIT. That's what this individual is saying right there. So it could be, brothers and sisters, it could be. So they had to try to find some way, somehow for him to get out. He probably said, I'm not staying there more than a year. You guys have to get me out. And so said, so done, brothers and sisters, that could be the case right there. Of course, number two is indicating once truly out on bail, two things are going to happen. I can guess what they are, brothers and sisters. He will not show up. Anyways, one, you either hear he disappear, he cannot be found. They're going to put some tracking thing on his leg. Dominica can't even track you. Is auto trade that then? Huh? Auto trade? Where auto traders put thing when you can rent a vehicle or lease a vehicle, whatever, they put a tracking device in there so they can stop it, and you know, if you don't pay, they're stopping the thing from working. I don't know if they're doing that now, but I know back in the day, that's something I hear that they used to do. Put tracking device, and if you don't pay, they stop in the vehicle and they know where to find the vehicle and what have you, brothers and sisters, so that they can put on the man. Not in Dominica, no? They say they can put a tracking device on him when he leave. If he leave, brothers and sisters. Anyways, this individual is saying, once truly out on bail, I'm thinking he's out of Dominica, he will disappear, brothers and sisters. Or two, somebody will take him out because of all the information that he apparently knows right there. Somebody will take him out. Because if they allow this case to call, there will be too much exposing for SKERRIT. Do you think that is the case, guys? Do you think? What are your thoughts on this? What is individual sharing right there? Do you think that is the case? Let me know your thoughts in that regard right there. Of course, there were a number of individuals who made comments on my previous post, brothers and sisters. And of course, one of the stipulations of the bail is a 1 million EC dollars. And this individual in question is saying that's just 9 passports. You will be shocked to find out it's much less. You know why? Because remember, $1 million in US dollars. Remember, they sell passports in US dollars. So 1 million EC dollars is about 400,000 US dollars. So it's not just 9 passports, it's way less than 9. With the indication I Google right now, they say $100,000 for a passport, which means 4 passports. I think for some reason or the other, when they met, they actually increased the price. So I think it's about 3.5. I think it's $150,000 for a passport. And imagine if he decides, these individuals have millions upon millions of US dollars. If he decides he want to participate, or individuals that is selling passports want to participate in the business venture of the CBI program, brothers and sisters, that's just 2 passports. Because according to Google, there's 2 sides of the CBI. There's the part, the normal part, and then there's the business part. The normal part based off Google is $100,000 at present. I think that price has increased probably to 120, 150. But there's the business aspect as well. And I think that has also increased. But based off Google at present, brothers and sisters, is $200,000. That is only the sale of 2 passports under the business sector. 2. So not 9. 2 passports, brothers and sisters. 2 people. So I'm sorry to making it worse for you. It's not 9 passports. Or you think 9 passports might not be much. But when it comes down to the actuality of it, remember it's 1 million EC dollars. That is equivalent to 400,000 US dollars. They sell the passports in US dollars. So if everybody have to buy normal on a normal basis, it will be 4 passports. Based on the price increase, it will be 3 passports. And if they're using the business venture, it is only 2 passports. Or 1.5, depending on the size of increase of the business venture, the new business price for the CBI passports. So it's no longer 9. It's no longer 9. Like this individual has indicated as well, it's $1 million Eastern Caribbean dollar, which is about 400,000 US dollars right there. We also have to look in something very interesting. They talk about another stipulation. They spoke about him renouncing his United States citizenship. Very interesting. Now, people were sending me this stuff on Dominica Breaking News, and of course I saw this thing. I saw it rather interesting right there. And based off what is indicated right there, based off Google, brothers and sisters, to remove the United States citizenship, you can renounce it through a formal legal process called repatriation. And how must you do that? First of all, you must appear in person, which means that he cannot renounce it in Dominica. He can say, I renounce it. He can say, I renounce it, and, okay, he has admitted that he has renounced it. You cannot do that in Dominica. He must go to the United States to renounce it, which means that it will be outside of the jurisdiction of Dominica for him to even renounce the pass for his citizenship. He has to appear in person. He must appear in person at a U.S. embassy or consulate in a foreign country. Oh, so he can do it in Barbados then. You must appear in person at a U.S. embassy or consulate in a foreign country. Okay, so you can do that in a foreign country, which means he can go to Barbados, outside of the jurisdiction of Dominica still. Then he has to sign an oath. You must sign in an oath of renunciation. Then you have to pay a fee of $2,350, 50 EC dollars right there, brothers and sisters. This is the first time I'm reading this, by the way. So this is very interesting when it comes down to this situation. It doesn't just stop there, brothers and sisters. Of course, renunciation of U.S. citizen is irreversible and has significant legal, financial, and tax implications. You will lose many benefits, including the rights to vote in the U.S. election, government protection and assistance while traveling overseas, access to federal jobs, unrestricted travel into and out of the country, U.S. citizenships for any children born outside the United States. You can still live in the U.S. after renouncing citizenship, but you will need to obtain a visa or residency permit. right there. So even if they do that, he can still live in the United States, but he has to get a visa or whatever. But he's born in the United States. This is still not clear on the basis of whether he's born in the United States. They say if you renounce in U.S. citizenship is irreversible and has significant legal, I guess it renouncing U.S. citizenship is irreversible. Not, if you're born in the United States, you reject your U.S., you can take it back. You can definitely get it back, brothers and sisters. Anyways, this is where the bombshell lies, brothers and sisters. Let me make this thing a bit bigger for you guys. This is where the bombshell lies. It's indicated right there, brothers and sisters. No, a judge from another country cannot instruct an American to denounce their citizenship. But a U.S. citizen can renounce their citizenship by these standards, contacting the U.S. embassy or consulate in the country where they intend to live, make a formal renunciation in person before a diplomatic or consular officer. I guess they can do that right there. Completing the required forms, taking the oath of renunciation, paying a non-refundable fee, which of course we just read a while ago right there. So it's not as easy as they think. It's not as easy as they think, brothers and sisters. You have to show up in person in the United States, in a U.S. embassy or in the United States for sure. And then you have to make this happen. But the thing is, what I don't fully get there, and I should have done a little more research. Well, no, it's not research I do. Reacting. You guys will need to do the research yourselves. It's on the basis of renouncing your U.S. citizenship on the basis of naturalization or being born in the United States. Because once you're born in the United States, especially if you're born to United States parents, it's not going to be as ABC, if you feel my drift, brothers and sisters. So then, even if the guy were to renounce his stuff, he can still get it back. It's not naturalization right there. You guys Google this stuff and let me know in the comment box below. I might know something, but you guys go and do your research. It's a reaction right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, so that's very interesting stuff when it comes down to what has been stipulated for his bail, brothers and sisters. But I personally believe when he leaves Dominica, he's not coming back. He's not. Because I remember when I was following the Anguilla situation, and the Anguilla situation, the individual promised he will come back. He said he'll come back and face his thing, and when he left, brothers, they try and get him back all how, brothers and sisters. They try to get him back all how, right in the government, right? All sorts of things, brothers and sisters. So you think he's going to do that? You think he's going to... Once he knows he's out, he's out. By the way, this has never been done ever before in Dominica. I have never seen any case of this sort where judges telling people to renounce their U.S. citizenship or whatever. All the man has to do is just go overseas and don't come back. Obviously, probably put all the stipulations for him to say thing, but I think based on what this individual is saying right there, based off is number 2, section 1, you will either hear he disappeared. I was going to say something, but let me leave that there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, moving along in that regard right there. There's something that was brought to my attention yesterday. And somebody actually sent me the link to this. This is actually a past teacher of mine. And on the basis of the government giving his children a vehicle and I guess his chauffeur and whatnot to bring them to school and wherever they want to go, on the basis of that, then taking that money from the public's purse, $184,500, to then pay for a vehicle by Jastafan so that his children can go up and down the place. Now, when I was doing the reaction, I was thinking of saying it, but I didn't say it. I said, maybe SKERRIT is doing this on the basis of trying to protect his children because of the craziness that he's been doing. And as a result of the craziness he's been doing, he fears that if they cannot get him, they may be able to get his little ones. So instead of the little ones riding on the bus or, waiting outside in school or something of that sort, he did this to protect his little one from the things that he has caused in Dominica. Like when you do some people bad and they want to seek revenge, but they cannot get you, so they try to get the people who are close to you. That is what that popped in my head yesterday, brothers and sisters. I was going to say it, but I said, you know what? Let me just say it today. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Do you think that is the case why he has decided to get a vehicle? But And keep in mind, I'm not saying that what he did was good or right in any way, shape, or form. In matter of fact, I'm gonna read something a lawyer actually told me right there in a moment, but it should be from his purse. It shouldn't be from the public's purse. The citizens didn't vote for your children. You already take $64,000 a month to rent to what is alleged to have been given to you for free. You then making the Dominica citizens pay for it. Interesting. Now you're taking the Dominican money again to go and buy a vehicle for your children. People didn't elect your children. No? Why on earth are they paying for them? Why? Unless you probably have your children as advisors too. But then again, you still can't be giving them the kind of things from the public's purse. So people pay money to secure themselves. They don't even know if they have social security anymore. They don't even know if their social security is secured. Yet still you go and pay for a vehicle for children to be driven to school from the public's purse. Like I indicated before, I don't mind if you go and buy a vehicle for his children. You know, he from his salary. Apparently he don't want to use his salary, using everybody else's money. And then come in and tell the citizens are trying to get a little raise, mes amis. Anyways, this is something that I received from a lawyer right there. Absurd, he's telling me what is happening when it comes down to Dominica. It's like renting the Prime Minister's residence. These things do not exist anywhere else in the world. Brothers and sisters, if you think this individual is not telling the truth, can you tell me where else in the world is this happening? Where a Prime Minister is allegedly given a mansion for free because of all the monies that he has allowed a certain business from overseas to get. Billions, brothers and sisters, millions to billions. And as a nice gesture, they gave him the house, allegedly. Then he's taking that house he allegedly got for free from that business, and he's renting it to the Dominican people for $64,000 a month. Every month, brothers and sisters. Every single month. Yes, Lord. These things do not exist anywhere else in the world. The normal thing is, if the Prime Minister requires a special vehicle for his children, then he buys it from his purse, not from the public purse. The problem is that the top public servants in these cases are the financial secretary, as well as the accountant general, both reacting unlawfully in breach of their public duties, as they can and lawfully should refuse, as in the case again for the airport. As for example, look tala line up, please, everyone. The chief planner and the state lands officer required by law and should simply refuse to participate in the airport until planning permission. I agree. Until planning permission is sought and got. Of course, SKERRIT is doing this because the Dominican person or the personality is unable to be principled. This individual is then saying, I am convinced that they have not been taught principles. For example, whatever taught principles is catechism or social studies or in sports right there. But this is so you understand the sentiment of what is being indicated right there. Very, very interesting times. So we see a number of regions. It's not just buying the vehicle, but the airport fiasco. It's not just the airport fiasco, but the very housing system as well. You see how crazy that is? All under the public's purse. Very interesting stuff. Anyways, so the former school teacher, which I thought was kind of crazy right there, indicated that if this is not fake news, it saddens me to witness the level of ingratitude amongst us as a people here in the Commonwealth of Dominica. It is truly shameful. First of all, that person saying amongst us as a people here in the Commonwealth, this individual is not in the Commonwealth. This individual is in the United States of America, enjoying whatever privilege the United States of America has given to them right there. So not us, it's all you. All right? So let me read that properly. It saddens me, the individual saying, to witness the level of ingratitude amongst the Dominican people living in the Commonwealth of Dominica. It is truly shameful. It's almost every household. We have high school and college graduate doctors, lawyers, and so many other successful individuals. And this progress is thanks to the same Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt SKERRIT. First of all, let me tell you something now. It's nice that people can go and study and get degrees and so forth, right? But it's another thing when you come back to Dominica and cannot get jobs dealing with these degrees. Or if you get these jobs, you are not paid adequately. I know of one particular situation where a friend of mine did work in Dominica, United States for a year, finished, she didn't get through, sent her down. A few months later, when they linked up because a position opened, they took the woman out because of what she was getting paid in Dominica, because she was really working hard. She was a hard worker. They remember that. It was sad for her to go, and when they had the position open, they called the woman back and filed for a woman to bring her back to the United States. So yes, you might have a few people who obtain degrees, but what degrees to do what? Degrees to do what? And first of all, not every household has a doctor, lawyer, and so many other success. What else you say? High school and college graduates. Yeah. And first of all, you have to realize the reason why this is because the government wants to be in charge of everything. So they take away the ability for the people to be able to do these things themselves. Remember back in the day, people used to send their children to United States to study on their money, you know. During the banana industry, people used to send their children overseas on school to study with cash, brothers and sisters. No, that cannot happen because, you see, I always tell people, look at cause and effect. You're always looking at the cause. Oh, this is happening. But you know, why is this happening that way? They have taken away the ability of the people of the country to be able to do things for themselves. And they are doing it for the people so that the people can be loyal to them. That is not a good thing at all. When you have removed the economy and the attitude of the people for them to be able to fend for themselves independently, you saying that this is something good? They come back, Dominica. Most people, when they go overseas and study, they want to come back now. Most, if not all. If they come back, it's because they have to come back. They have to come back. Sometimes I just don't understand how people thinking, right? This individual was also saying, parents no longer have to worry about paying for school buses for the little ones. All they need to do is wake up and get dressed and hop on the bus. There are countless scholarships being offered, free housing and all. You see, you come back to the same rhetoric. It is because they have destroyed the economy that parents now cannot afford it and therefore have to go and beg. And as a result of begging so much that they decided, okay, you know what, we have done this, so let's see if we can help out. It's not because they want to, it's because they have designed it that way. They have designed it that way. And you want to make it seem like this is something good. It's not something good, this is something terrible. They have destroyed the economy and the people's ability to fend for themselves. When they do that, they are the ones who are in charge and they control you, because if you talk, we will take you out of the house, we will stop giving your little ones scholarships and all those kind of things there. That is what has happened to Dominica. And therefore, when it comes, this is one of the reasons why I believe that they're not really looking into agriculture, because agriculture gives the individuals its respective route. You see, like all the vehicles during the banana industry days, where each individual come in and bring their box and they write down their stuff and each get individual monies without the involvement of the government. But today now you have to go to the government to get assistance. And if they don't want to give you assistance, you're in problem. Whereas when you had your own individual sphere, when hundreds of people were participating, thousands were participating in the banana industry, getting monies directly, today they have to go to the government and the government can tell you no. You see how it works? I don't think sometimes you guys don't think properly. Anyways, so that is another part of it right there. I have never heard of any other country where a prime minister does so much for his people. He's giving away free house. We're coming back to the same thing. They kill the economy, stopping the people from being able to even, last. They can't even save $200 or $1,000. How you expect them to build a house? How you expect them to buy land? They cannot save $200 on $1,000. How you expect that to happen? Huh? You keep saying about the things that they have done. This is cause. You don't know why. You're not speaking about the why factor. You have never seen that in other countries, because most of the countries, they focus on the economy and the elevation. Look at St. Kitts. You ever see St. Kitts people complaining about the government needing to give them this and that? Matter of fact, the government giving people money. Even Dominicans in St. Kitts getting money from the government. Dominica has the most robust CBI program out of all 5 countries. St. Kitts giving its citizens a piece of the CBI, plus the those who live in there who are part of paying taxes. St. Kitts giving them, Dominica have sold the most passports, and not a dime the citizens get from it. Not a dime. This is by design. This is exactly by design. This is why it's happening that way. Very interesting stuff. I don't know how. Oh boy. You have never heard that happening anywhere in the world. It's happening by design. And yet today, when he chooses to purchase a modest vehicle to help a modest vehicle, the vehicle is $184,000. Modest. You know how long it'll take Dominicans in Dominica if they were not using their salaries at all? Generally speaking, normally Dominicans, give or take, does make about $1,200. $1,200 in 12 months. That's what, 14,000, 14,400, something of that sort, brothers and sisters. I could be wrong in that regard. No, yeah, I'm right. $14,400. $14,400 per year. If they didn't have to use that, they'll have to take 10 years to get $144,000. 10 years. And they still don't reach that amount yet. 10 years without touching that money at all. You say modest vehicle? Modest vehicle to help transport his own children. Some are ready to stone him. It's this happening. The man can buy the vehicle. Nothing wrong with him buying a vehicle, you know. But he cannot be putting it on the public's purse. It should be on his purse. According to what his lawyers say there. He shouldn't be buying it on the public's purse. It should be on or from his purse. How could you come up with the logic to think that it's okay for a prime minister to buy a vehicle under the public's purse for his children to transport to school and back? What trouble is that for me, boy? Boy, I tell you, boy. And this individual says, is this happening? Yeah. The man has been there for you in so many ways. Oh, he's there for you. He destroyed the economy, causing the people to rely on him. He's there for you. I pray the prime minister. Anyways, this happening, blah, blah, blah. So many, blah, 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 blah. He faces harsh criticism. Yes, he faces harsh criticism. You know why? When he increases salaries a few times. He's also making the citizens pay serious monies for the house that he's staying in, even though he tell the individuals a few months before that he doesn't want to move into any mansion. Then, lie to the people and moving into it. And not just moving into it, but also then making the citizens pay $64,000 a month. And we still cannot get the jaws of life to rescue people or get proper medical attention, even though he's telling the very citizens themselves that he can send his little ones, the very little ones he buy a vehicle for. Modest vehicle for $184,000. Boy, I tell you. Boy. Harsh criticism, this individual is saying. Harsh criticism. I pray that the Prime Minister sees the ungratefulness that some people are displaying. He has been giving and giving, but when it comes to receiving respect and appreciation for his efforts, it's clear that some will never be satisfied. Dominican Dominica, all ropes have an end. When the Prime Minister has been doing everything he can to help and still faces this negativity, it's truly a reflection of the lack of gratitude. It's truly a reflection of the lack of gratitude we have as a people. I wasn't planning on speaking out, but my heart is overwhelmed by the blatant ingratitude I'm seeing. We need to do better as a people. Well, first of all, teacher, I'm telling you, that is foolishness you're speaking. Irrevocable, asinine foolishness. That you're speaking there. That is the post of someone who has no understanding of present reality in Dominica. And I would understand why, because you do not live in Dominica. You are overseas looking in at, oh, that's all these nice things for him. Not seeing the cause and effect. Furthermore, I also know who you are. And I also know you yourself are against the Prime Minister. You are against him. So what exactly are you looking to get when you post this? What exactly are you looking to get when you post this stuff? Because people that send me that post of yours there, people send me that post of checking what that person's saying there. So I decide, okay, you know what, I'm not going to read that. That's the very first time I'm reading this stuff right there. So I decide to do a reaction on it, to give my honest thought, and reaction to it. But what you're saying there is no sense to reality. None. Ingratitude, really? All the chaos the man has brought to the people, destroying the economy, destroying the livelihood of individuals where they now have to rely on the Prime Minister to even meet their basic needs, where the little daughters and these people are coming and they have to be used by ministers of government for favors in exchange of favors. I wonder where that case go. Lennox Lem had it. I don't know. Where that case has been probably pending for over 10 years. And you think the practice has stopped? Really? Sometimes I wonder how people just think, boy. Anyways, moving along right there. I have to point this one right there. Point out this one as well. So, this is a thing somebody sent me. And I took out the person's name, but for namesake, let us call this person Clarence. Clarence, this large sum of money is allocated to the SKERRIT residents is indefensible, considering that Dominica is the poorest country. I think the person who wrote this, the teacher that wrote this thing, this foolishness there, I think you also need to understand this thing. Right? It is indefensible, just like buying the vehicle, whereas the people are poor. You don't think $184,000 could have gone into the hospital or could have gone into the roads and helped patch certain things and try to do something to help the people? But no, apparently all of a sudden they have monies to be allocated to it's also, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about how people just think. Maybe the individual in question wanted to get something, some favors or something of that sort. Maybe. I find it really weird. Anyways, Dominica is the poorest country in the OECS. That's facts. Additionally, the government can't buy, what is that? Gauge and medicine for the hospital. Rubbish is too, they can't even collect rubbish. You paying money to watch. Well, maybe a lot of people probably don't pay any money again because they're checking garbage doesn't collect properly. But I remember back in the day, put stipulations for people to be paying money for them to collect garbage. And garbage truck don't collect garbage when they're supposed to be collecting. It's very interesting. Rubbish is, I guess, spreading all over the country. Small contractors can be paid. LPOs haven't been paid yet. Nothing. But they buy little one vehicle, really? Help me, Father. There's a deficiency of supplies. We are sugar rich now. You don't rich yet? I had to bring sugar from St. Lucia. Imagine when I was going, then people opened my bag. When they passed through the thing, they opened my bag and they put all my sugar for everybody to see. And then the partner watch the lady and say, it's just sugar, it's just sugar. And they put it back in my bag. Right there, bro. That's crazy. Anyways, there's a deficiency in the number of supplies in the government critical institutions. NEPs can't get paid properly. I also heard that NEPs were promised to get paid $1,000. Apparently, they are not getting paid $1,000. Allegedly, I don't know. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. They're apparently getting $800, not $1,000 in that regard. I mean, maybe it's different folks for different strokes for different folks, but that's one of the things that I was hearing right there. NEPs can get payment on a regular monthly basis. Monies are not transmitted to our embassies on a timely manner and timely and regular basis, and the list goes on right there. Don't you see for yourself that this is an abuse of taxpayers' monies? Don't you see so? Like I indicated before, it's not that Skerrit can't buy his children vehicle. He should do it from his pocket. Why does the public have to pay? How is that relating to the public? How? I understand that the public has to take care of the Prime Minister in certain aspects and whatnot, but how does that relate to the public? You are the ones who are getting paid all these monies after increasing all your salaries and getting $64,000 a month, and the people still have to pay for vehicle for your children? Really? And the teacher come in and ask as if she don't understand why people are highly critical of that? In a country that is not doing well at all, one of the poorest, if not the poorest, in the entire organization of the Eastern Caribbean state. Really? Very interesting stuff right there. Don't you see for yourself this is an abuse of taxpayers' monies? To add insult to injury, the government rents Skerrit's house, which is tantamount to serious conflict of interest. Well, I don't think it's his house, like I did before. I think it's MMCE that gave him the house. And as a result, they gave him the house for the nice stuff. Well, alleged. Alleged. But renting, when you get a free house, is something else, eh? Yes, man. $64,000 a month. In a nutshell, brothers and sisters, the country cannot afford this expenditure in addition to a new vehicle bought for $184,500, the exact amount, to transport Skerrit's children. Are you really responsible to support such corruption? This was said by Matthew Walters right there. Now, this has been circulating, brothers and sisters. This is the Office of the Prime Minister's 2024 to 2025 estimates, and you know sometimes that does change, just like the agriculture one change right there. You can read it for yourself, you know, guys. Wages for the Prime Minister, this is for the year, 191,000. Supplies and materials, 44,000. Operating and maintenance was at 55,000. Rental of assets, 384,000. I'm guessing this is part of the also includes the house as well, give or take. Professional and consultancy services, $48,000. I think that has to do with the what do you call that? The Prime Minister's advisors, I guess. Maybe that's to help them or something of that sort. Insurance, 10,000. Sundry expenses or the machinery equipment right there comes up to 745,000. This was for 2022, 2023. 2020, this is the one that we are in right now. So it went down to 176,000. And you can read this stuff right there. So what I was reading was 2022, 2023. You can see they also have the estimates for the other time, brothers and sisters. That's the estimates, eh? As you can clearly see, based off these estimates right there, it's varying, vastly varying, brothers and sisters. Yeah. Well, brothers and sisters. Yeah. What are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below right there. This is all about Aphrodisia vibrations. You've heard my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. But I was greatly disappointed with that teacher right there, and the understanding that the very teacher is also against, so speaks, maybe not publicly but privately, speaks against the very SKERRIT individual right there. So I'm saying maybe this individual wants to get some sort of help from SKERRIT or something, so decide to do this. I don't know, but this is crazy. This is insane right there. So I had to point this out, brothers and sisters. This was kind of, you know, asinine to me. And yeah, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on the different thoughts that I shared today, guys? It's about Mystelics once again, guys. Be real, solid, always. Be positive.